everyone, welcome to Wicked.west.books. My name is Meg West, and today I am going to be doing my January wrap-up. For the month of January, I managed to read 6 books, 4 of which came from one series. The first book of 2020 that I read was What If It's Us by Adam Silvera and Becky Albertelli. I haven't read any of Becky Albertelli's other works, but I have read everything else by Adam Silvera except Infinity Sun. I could definitely see a distinct difference in Becky Albertelli's writing style versus Adam Silvera's, and I could tell which boy belonged to which person because Adam Silvera has a type, which is not a bad thing. It just means that I'm going to know which character belongs to him. This book was very cute and I really enjoyed the couple. However, it was also a little bit predictable on where things were going to go, and it didn't feel all that exciting because I could easily see where it was going to go. And I really wasn't very fond of the ending that they chose for this book. It's probably more realistic, and that might be why I didn't like it very much. It wasn't a bad ending, it just wasn't my favorite. The next book that I read was Against the Tide of Years by S.M. Sterling. This is the second book in the series where the island of Nantucket goes back in time to the Bronze Age, and everyone basically just has to figure out a way to survive. They did all of that in book 1, and in this one, there's just a lot of war everywhere. And it wasn't the kind of plot that I really wanted to read. There was one plot in here that I really enjoyed, and that was the doctor's point of view, and he is having to deal with, I think it is a smallpox outbreak in the Bronze Age, and it was by far the most interesting storyline to me, and it was also one of the more overlooked ones in this book. And I'm kind of afraid and kind of hoping that this book was just suffering from middle book syndrome, because I will have to read the third book in this series next month as my buddy read with my husband. These next books are all later books in a series that I am in the process of rereading because the author is coming to Oklahoma City next month, and I'm going to be going to get books signed and hopefully get all of these signed. It's a lot, so maybe not. But in the order that I read them, there is Dreams Made Flesh, which is a short story kind of compendium. The only story in this book that really spoils anything for the overall plot is the very last story. So if you wanted to get a small glimpse into this world, this might be a pretty good place to start. The first story will be very confusing because it's about a little golden spider, but the second story is Lucifer Yaslana meeting his wife, and I love that story. And the third one is just kind of some background that gives you a deeper knowledge of one of the main characters. Then I read The Shadow Queen, and the second book in this duology within a series, Shalador's Lady. This takes place after the main selection of books, and I think also after Dreams Made Flesh, and it doesn't involve any of the main characters very strenuously. They have their own plot line, and you can definitely recognize characters, and they have their own plot line within this, but it is not the main story, and I don't have any issue with that because I really liked Cassidy and her story. And these will give some minor spoilers to the third book in the original trilogy, but it's also just 2 books if you wanted to get a look into this world without making a commitment to the entire thing. Or if you tried making that commitment and didn't like the main characters, it's just another kind of point of view. And the last book that I finished during the month of January was Twilights Dawn, also by Anne Bishop. This is the most recent book in the series that is out so far. The newest book will actually come after the events in this novel. It starts off with a kind of cutesy little story that doesn't have any impact on the major storylines in the plot. The second story in this book is really good if Surreal is one of your favorite characters. The third book just kind of gives you a end line for one of the characters that was a big part in the trilogy and then kind of faded off. And the final story in this book is the one that is really going to set things off for The Queen's Bargain, which comes out next month. Overall, it was a great reading month for me. I enjoyed all of the books quite a bit, and I'm really enjoying rereading this series all the way through, just slightly out of order, for the first time that isn't just a couple of stories that I really enjoyed, and instead reading all of the books. I have a few more to go still, and by that I mean I have 3 books left in my reread, and they will probably all be in February's wrap-up. Maybe, we'll see. So that is it for the books that I read during the month of January for 2020. I think I'm starting off on a good foot. Let's see if it can continue. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. I post videos every Wednesday. Have a wicked day.